Let's first talk about your own career. You've been in television for a long time.
175 years.
A friendly smile, a kind heart, and a mean wit. With over 8 decades of work in the TV business, Betty White was the first lady of television.
My husband used to say that I was a pioneer in silent television, which is practically true.
She was the first woman to produce a sitcom in the United States.
Please, I haven't seen it yet, and I'm a little bit apprehensive to see it with all these other people. Could we get all these other people to go home and just let me see it by myself?
She became the first woman to receive the Daytime Emmy Award for Outstanding Game Show Host. But for many, it was her role as Rose Nyland in the mega-hit sitcom Golden Girls that cemented her place in their hearts.
I tell you, we don't speak to her on the set. We just don't, because
They are jealous. They are jealous. I do get all the best lines. Get all the
we
best
have the
lines.
best time.
Fabulous. Oh, it was a joy.
Her sad passing, just 2 weeks before her 100th birthday, on New Year's Eve 2021, made celebrations bittersweet. But if anyone has a life worth celebrating, it is the incredible Betty White.
Thank you, darling. Thank you.
Betty Marion White was born in Oak Park, Illinois, on January 17, 1922. She stated that Betty was her legal name and not a shortened version of Elizabeth. She was the only child of Christine Tess, a homemaker, and Horace Logan White, a lighting company executive from Michigan. Her paternal grandfather was Danish, and her maternal grandfather was Greek, with her other roots being English and Welsh. White's family moved to Alhambra, California in 1923 when she was a little over a year old, and later to Los Angeles during the Great Depression. To make extra money, her father built crystal radios and sold them wherever he could. Since it was the height of the Depression and hardly anyone had a sizable income, he would trade the radios in exchange for other goods, including dogs on some occasions. An early root of what would become a lifelong passion for animals. White attended Horace Mann Elementary School in Beverly Hills and Beverly Hills High School, graduating in 1939. Her interest in wildlife was sparked by family vacations to the Sierra Nevada. She initially aspired to a career as a forest ranger, but was unable to accomplish this because women were not allowed to serve as rangers at that time. Instead, White pursued an interest in writing. She wrote and played the lead in a graduation play at Horace Mann School and discovered her interest in performing. Inspired by her idols, Jeanette MacDonald and Nelson Eddy, she decided to pursue a career as an actress.
Let's first talk about your own career. You've been in television for a long time.
175 years.
After the United States entered World War II in 1941, White volunteered for the American Women's Voluntary Services. Her assignment included driving a PX truck with military supplies to the Hollywood Hills. She also participated in events for troops before they were deployed overseas. Commenting on her wartime service, White said, "It was a strange time and out of balance with everything." After the war, White made the rounds to movie studios looking for work, but was turned down because she was not photogenic. She started to look for radio jobs where being photogenic did not matter. Her first radio jobs included reading commercials and playing bit parts, and sometimes even doing crowd noises. She made about $5 a show. She would do just about anything, like singing on a show for no pay. She appeared on shows such as Blondie, The Great Gildersleeve, and This Is Your FBI. She was then offered her own radio show called The Betty White Show. In 1949, she began appearing as a co-host with Al Jarvis on his daily live television variety show, Hollywood on Television, originally called Make Believe Ballroom. In 1952, White co-founded Bandy Productions with writer George Tibbles and John Fedderson, a producer. The trio created the television comedy Life with Elizabeth, with White portraying the title character.
Betty, do you think there was a golden age of TV?
Yes, I do in the beginning, because it was, again, I repeat, it was all new. It was different. It was everybody coming into your living room, not you going out to see them somewhere.
From 1952 to 1954, White hosted and produced her own daily talk variety show, The Betty White Show.
It's time to say hello again and start our show again and sing a song or two for all of you. Hi. And happy Monday to you. I hope this is a very extra special Monday for you, as it is for us, because today is Wish Day. And that's always extra good news for us.
Like her sitcom, she had creative control over the series and was able to hire a female director. In a first for American network variety television, her show featured an African-American performer. But the show faced criticism for the inclusion of tap dancer Arthur Duncan as a regular cast member. The criticism followed when NBC expanded the show nationally. Local Southern stations in the Jim Crow era threatened to boycott unless Duncan was removed from the series. In response, White said, "I'm sorry, live with it," and gave Duncan more airtime. Initially a rating success, the show repeatedly changed time slots and suffered lower viewership. By the end of the year, NBC quietly canceled the series. By the 1960s, White was a staple of network game shows and talk shows, including both Jack Paar and later Johnny Carson's era of The Tonight Show. She made many appearances on the hit Password Show as a celebrity guest from 1961 through 1975. White made frequent game show appearances on What's My Line, To Tell the Truth, I've Got a Secret, Match Game, and Pyramid. In 1963, she married the host of Password, Alan Ludden.
And now the special feature of our program, the appearance of our mystery challenger, for which my friends on the panel are, as always, blindfolded. Are those blindfolds in place, panel?
Yes, John.
Yes, sir. Good. Will you enter mystery challenger and sign in, please? As you know, panel, in this case, one question at a time, in turn, moving clockwise, and we'll begin with Arlene Francis.
Would one find your name in the theatrical section of the newspaper?
Yes.
Jolly good.
But Ludden wasn't her first husband. While volunteering with the American Women's Voluntary Services, White met her first husband, Dick Barker, a United States Army Air Force's P-38 pilot. After the war, the couple married and moved to Bell Center, Ohio, where Barker owned a chicken farm. He wanted to embrace a simpler life, but White did not enjoy this. They returned to Los Angeles and divorced within a year. In 1947, she married Lane Allen, a Hollywood talent agent. They divorced in 1949 because he wanted a family, but she wanted a career rather than children. On June 14, 1963, White married television host and personality Alan Ludden, whom she met on his game show Password as a celebrity guest in 1961. And her legal name was changed to Betty White Ludden. He proposed to White at least twice before she accepted.
This is the lovely star of Hollywood and television, Alan Ludden's beautiful wife, Betty White.
Thank you. And this is my partner, Robert Ware from Indianapolis, Indiana.
And now, here's your host on Password, Alan Ludden.
Well, good evening to you. It's nice to have you with us this Monday evening. Jack Parr, it's a pleasure to have you back.
I'm very happy to be here, and congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello, Betty.
Hello, Alan.
What are your plans for the summer, Betty?
Well, I'm going to do some...
While they had no children together, White was stepmother to Ludden's 3 children with Margaret McGloin Ludden, who died of cancer in 1961. Tragically, Alan Ludden died from stomach cancer on June 9, 1981, in Los Angeles. White never remarried. When asked the reason for this in an interview with Larry King, White responded by saying, "Once you've had the best, who needs the rest?" When asked by James Lipton on Inside the Actor's Studio that should heaven exist, what would she like God to say to her when she walked through the pearly gates? White replied, "Come on in, Betty. Here's Alan."
I think I've been around so long. I mean, I think my husband used to say that I was a pioneer in silent television, which is practically true. And I've been around for 58 years in the business, so if I haven't done everything I want to do now, it's my fault. But I just like to keep doing it.
In 1983, White became the first woman to win a Daytime Emmy Award in the category of Outstanding Game Show Host for the NBC entry Just Men. Due to the amount of work she did on them, she was deemed the First Lady of game shows. From 1983 to 1984, White had a recurring role playing Ellen Harper Jackson on the series Mama's Family, along with future Golden Girls co-star Rue McClanahan. White had originated this character in a series of sketches on The Carol Burnett Show in the 1970s. In 1985, White scored her signature role and the biggest hit of her career as the St. Olaf, Minnesota native Rose Nyland on The Golden Girls. The series chronicled the lives of 4 widowed or divorced women in their golden years who shared a home in Miami. The Golden Girls, which also starred Bea Arthur, Estelle Getty, and Rue McClanahan, was immensely successful and ran from 1985 through 1992.
So I think that the network was amazed that when we went on the air and we hit the floor running, Cosby was the big show at that time. our first show, we beat him. And it's been that way ever since. It's been a young people's show.
A friend of mine who was an agent called and said, "What's this? I hear you're doing a new sitcom." I said, "No, I don't know what you're talking about." He said, "Oh, yes. Yes, it's all over town." I found out later that the cast list came out and it said Dorothy, a B. Arthur type, which I thought was, but I was one of the last people they called. You know, I think they auditioned a lot of people, whether they thought I wouldn't do it or whether they didn't think I was right for the part. I don't know, but wow, did that turn out to be something.
White won an Emmy Award for Outstanding Actress in a Comedy Series for the first season of The Golden Girls, and was nominated in that category every year of the show's run. Getty was also nominated every year, but in the Supporting Actress category.
It was so exciting to be nominated, all of us together. It would have been painful if one was left out. But the fact that everybody was nominated, we had our party when the nominations came out. But I just thought maybe David wasn't reading properly tonight, and I can't believe that this child is at least going to be able to stay at my house for a little while.
How would Rose respond to winning such an award from her peers?
Well, back in Minneapolis, we have a thing called, looks very much like this. It's for the largest salmon catch in the winter.
And last question is, how would you describe the success of Golden Girls? Why do you think it's become so successful?
Because thanks to these wonderful people behind me, it's funny, and it also hits true. It's character comedy. It isn't just joke comedy. It's a privilege to do those kind of words, those kinds of words. I know it's those kinds of words.
Betty, you've had a long and great career. What's the best thing for you in terms of your personal success?
My personal success is the fact that at this end of a career, I mean, after as many years as have gone by, to have something like this happen and work every day with people who are not only so proficient, but such great gals. So it's, you don't get any better than
And what's
this.
the toughest thing?
The toughest thing is having to go back and kiss those girls and say that I wish we each had one of these.
Well, first of all, to show elderly women who are clean and well-groomed and sexually active. I mean, I thought it was fabulous. You know, you never see elderly women pictured that way. Of course, I must say though, in the first episode, it didn't even dawn on me that we were older. I just thought it was so brilliantly written. So funny, you know. And I think the relationship between the mother and daughter is one of the great comedic duos ever. I really mean it. I don't know how they dreamed it up. Not just the love-hate thing, but the difference in size and the whole. My God, even I remember one of my favorite, you don't mind if I talk about myself?
Absolutely not.
One of my favorite episodes was when Sophia entered the two of us in a mother-daughter beauty contest at Shady Pines. And for the talent section, we did I Got You, Babe, you know, Sonny and Cher. I remember we even had, our costume lady was the best. There's never been anybody like her. She had Sophia in a little furry jacket with a mustache and I had hair down to my navel, you know, and it was just fabulous, fabulous. Oh, it was a joy.
They say we're young and we don't know. We won't find out until
White had a strained relationship with her Golden Girls co-star, B. Arthur, on and off the set of their television show, commenting that Arthur was not fond of me, and she found me a pain in the neck sometimes. It was my positive attitude, and that made B mad sometimes. Sometimes if I was happy, she'd be furious. After Arthur's death in 2009, White said, "I knew it would hurt. I just didn't know it would hurt this much."
People have been trying to start feuds between not just our show, I mean like Designing Women and all that, and saying but how can you do comedy if you don't enjoy each other? I don't understand that, and I don't think you can. But I think the tabloids and a lot of people love to play up that other stuff. Where with us, we had such a good time that a scene would be finished. Let's say we're playing a scene around the kitchen table, and we'd finish the scene, and where usually on other shows you'll go back to your dressing room or something between scenes. We just sit there and gab and gas and have a wonderful time. And on blocking day or taping day, the mics, were all around. So one day we were sitting there and went on gossiping, and then Rue said, I just think I better tell you, I'm leaving my husband. And so we got talking rather seriously, and we looked up and there was a microphone, a live mic right over our heads. She said, oh my God, I haven't even told my mother that.
Well, Rue and I were, of course, my God, we were together for 5 years. It was such an ideal arrangement because we had a director, Terry Hughes, and the writing staff. I mean, it does begin with the written word, and it sure as hell did with Golden Girls. My God, I mean, everybody, everything. And it was like Maude in that I wasn't aware of this. Apparently, in a lot of shows, you're given the script and you read the script. But we were able to say, wait a minute, I don't know, shouldn't Betty take that line? And then I would, or we could always discuss with the writers and the whole producers and everybody and decide it was a joy.
The nice part about the show, I think one of the things that makes it work is that all of us, no matter what's happening on the outside, the same young girls are inside, and Terry brings that out in us. This is exactly what happened during the Great Herring War.
The Great Herring War?
Yes, between the Lindstroms and the Johanssons.
Oh, that Great Herring War.
The two families control the most fertile herring waters off the coast of Norway, so naturally it seemed like it would be in their best interest to band together. Oh, boy, was that a mistake. You see, they couldn't agree on what to do with the herring.
Oh, well, that's understandable. I mean, the possibilities are overwhelming.
Exactly. The Johanssons wanted to pickle the herring, and the Lindstroms wanted to train him for the circus.
Despite their differences, The Golden Girls was a positive experience for both actresses, and they had great mutual respect for the show, their roles, and the achievements made as an ensemble cast. Arthur would often insist on waiting to leave for lunch until all four had finished their work and could leave together. White was originally offered the role of Blanche in The Golden Girls, and Rue McClanahan was offered the role of Rose, the two characters being similar to roles they had played in Mary Tyler Moore and Maude, respectively. Jay Sandrich, the director of the pilot, suggested that since they had played similar roles in the past, they should switch roles. Rue McClanahan later said in a documentary on the series. White originally had doubts about her ability to play Rose until Sandrich explained to her that Rose was terminally naive. White says, if you told Rose you were so hungry you could eat a horse, she'd call the ASPCA.
You are nominated tonight, aren't you?
Yes, which is amazing. After our third season, Bea and Rue and I are thrilled to death.
it's very funny, you know, what's happening with the Golden Girls besides being a wonderful show. And is that both for the Emmys and the Golden Globes and all the awards, you three are nominated, and sometimes one wins and sometimes another. And how do you all take that?
Well, you can't separate us. We're the four of us are sort of joined at the hip, you know. So if whoever gets to take the little guy home is very lucky, but it's a vote for everybody. Not that we're going to take anything home tonight, but just the nomination is, after 3 seasons, you don't expect that anymore, and it's wonderful.
Is the show still happy for you? Are you still happy with it?
We're worrying now. We've only 4 more shows to do before we finish the season this year, and we're already worrying about what do we.
I tell you, we don't speak to her on the set. We just don't, because she's
They are jealous.
They are jealous. I do get all the best lines. Get all the
we
best
have the
lines.
best time, and the 4 of us are as different. You know how different we are on the show? Well, the 4 of us in reality are just that different. It's like east, west, north, and
Absolutely.
south. Maybe that's why we love each other. I don't know.
You know that in this country we have senior citizens' homes, you know, people where people come for retirement or for whatever reason, and they don't allow people to cohabitate. And I always wondered why. Nobody's going to become pregnant in one of those homes.
Does that mean they don't allow them to live together?
They don't allow them. That's right. You can't. People can't go into to see people of the opposite sex. Isn't that terrible? Because old people like sex and they have sex, and young people think that they don't, but they do.
The Golden Girls ended in 1992 after Arthur announced her decision to depart the series.
I wasn't really looking for anything. I mean, my God, I'm an old lady. I've been in the business almost 60 years. All I knew was I want to leave and make it mean something. And I dealt with another Canadian, your Leslie Nielsen. No, it was a nice feeling leaving at the top.
White, McClanahan, and Getty reprised their roles as Rose, Blanche, and Sophia in the spin-off, The Golden Palace. The series was short-lived, lasting only 1 season.
You and your co-stars, what was your reaction when you first heard that Estelle had contracted?
We didn't hear about it. We knew about it. The last season with Estelle, she was having terrible problems, remembering lines and things that were not like her. And so we were kind of watching it happen, and it hurts.
Who makes you laugh, Betty?
Oh, Tim Conway. He just cracks me up. John Biner, I thought, was wonderful today at the Dancers, Society of Dancers.
Jack? How important is comedy to you?
Oh, very. I mean, I was an only child, and there wasn't a straight man in the house. You know, my dad would bring stories home, so we always had a lot of fun.
Very good. How are you, Betty? Congratulations. Very funny movie, and you were great. You made the movie.
Oh, please. I haven't seen it yet, and I'm a little bit apprehensive to see it with all these other people. Could we get all these other people to go home and just let me see it by myself?
Personal screening room at the El Capitan.
Is that all right?
So tell me, who do you play? Tell us.
I'm this neighbor from hell. This woman who minds Steve Martin's business, and I'm politically incorrect to the nth degree. I say some outrageous things, but it's so over the top you can't possibly get mad at it.
And there were a lot of controversial jokes in the film, and I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. How did you decide what was offensive but funny enough to get over the top?
Well, if you don't take it seriously, if you take, it's got to be honest within the character, with this terrible neighbor, within her character. She doesn't know she's being offensive because that's what she thinks. But hopefully it's so people make fun of the people who talk and think that way.
Did you ever think that you'd work in a movie with Steve Martin and Queen Latifah at the same time?
No, I never did, but boy, did I luck in.
You had fun, didn't you?
I sure did.
Well, thank you very much, and you were great.
Thanks.
Good luck. Good luck.
In 2009, White starred in the romantic comedy The Proposal alongside Sandra Bullock and Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, she's a Grandma Annie. She's Ryan Reynolds' grandma, but she's not a bad gal, and she's not a silly. She wants to get these two people together, and she doesn't care what extent she has to go to make it happen, you know. But it's fun. Thank you, Doug.
Also in 2009, the candy company Mars Incorporated launched a global campaign for their Snickers bar. The campaign's slogan was, "You're not you when you're hungry." White appeared alongside Abe Vigoda in the company's advertisement for the candy during the 2010 Super Bowl XLIV in the 2010 Super Bowl 44. The advertisement became very popular and won the top spot on the Super Bowl ad meter.
Mike, come on! Mike, what is your deal, man?
Oh, come on, man. You've been riding me all day.
Mike, you're playing like Betty White out there.
That's not what your girlfriend said.
Baby.
Whoa, that's not cool.
Eat Snickers. Better?
Better.
In June 2010, White took on the role of Elka Ostrovsky, the house caretaker on TV Land's original sitcom, Hot in Cleveland, along with Valerie Bertinelli, Jane Leaves, and Wendy Malick. Hot in Cleveland was TV Land's first attempt at a first-run scripted comedy. White was only meant to appear in the pilot of the show, but was asked to stay on for the entire series. In 2010, Betty White read a bedtime story to local children at sleepbetter.org's event to benefit the Bedtime Stories Project, held at the California Science Center on May 26th in Los Angeles, California.
This celebration today, I've been a busy person in the LA area for 63 years. And no, I didn't mean that. But I couldn't keep up the schedule I do without a really, snatching as many good hours of sleep as I possibly can. And as Dan mentioned, the secret to a good night's sleep is developing a sort of a bedtime ritual, and that is important. For me, I like to cozy up in bed with my golden retriever, Pontiac, and a good book. How many of you like to do that too? Hi. Well, we're not, yes, good. We're not alone. One of my favorite bedtime stories has always been Good Night Moon, and I happen to have it here. And I'd like to read it. In the great green room, there was a telephone and a red balloon and a picture of the cow jumping over the moon. And there were 3 little bears sitting on chairs, and there were 2 little kittens and a pair of mittens, and a little toy house, and a young mouse, and a comb, and a brush, and a bowl of mush, and a quiet old lady who was whispering, hush.
White also starred in the Hallmark Hall of Fame presentation, The Lost Valentine, on January 30th, 2011. And from 2012 to 2014, White hosted and executive produced Betty White's Off Their Rockers, in which senior citizens play practical jokes on the younger generation. For this show, she received 3 Emmy nominations. A Betty White calendar for 2011 was published in late 2010. The calendar features photos from White's career and with various animals. She also launched her own clothing line on July 22, 2010, which features shirts with her face on them. All proceeds go to various animal charities she supported.
Hi, everyone. I'm Angela Manfredi in Los Angeles for the 25th Annual Genesis Awards, where the Humane Society honors celebrities for their work on behalf of animals.
It means that I'm able to talk about a project and a cause that I love, and it's one
wonderful to have the opportunity to talk about something that I care so much about, which is the fact that elephants are now in danger and black rhinos are in danger. And there's a wonderful organization, the Sheldrick Wildlife Trust, that is helping them and taking care of the orphans that are orphaned by poaching.
You know, when we're in the entertainment business and media, we all have this spotlight, and this is an award show where they're throwing the spotlight back onto people, saying, "Hey, thanks for using some of your light to shine onto problems that, you know, a lot of people aren't really looking at," and that's great. So hopefully it motivates other people to want to stand up and use their power and their light to help people and animals that are less fortunate.
Down here.
Betty, why did you want to be part of this event tonight?
Well, I'm such an animal lover, an animal nut, that I've been coming to these for a lot of years, and we're always very mindful of Gretchen Weiler, of course, at this event. And I just thought it would be nice to come and celebrate and say thank you for the people who really try to help the animal cause by handling animals properly on film.
You have loved animals for many, many years. You've been an advocate.
Everybody says, you know, when did you start, when did your animal love you? In the womb. My mother and dad were just as bad as I was, or as good, whatever.
Now, this is the 25th anniversary of the Genesis Awards. What would you like to see happen in the next 25 years for animal issues?
Oh, I would like to see us we get something accomplished and then the other side keeps trying to undo it again, like with the wolves, for example. We fought so hard and the wolves were almost down to extinction, and we finally got them protected, and now they're trying to take that protection away. Please don't. We really need all the diversity and different species we possibly can have and appreciate them. I am not going to be fit to live with for the next years. You don't live through this only once in your lifetime, and I'm kind of excited.
Who are you most starstruck when you see?
I've never met him, but Robert Redford is my standard answer to anything. And, well, I tell you, very close to the very top of that is one Sandra Bullock. She's the epitome of what a movie star should be. She's not only gorgeous and talented, but she's the most down-to-earth human being. I just can't say enough about her. Thank you.
Do you think people know how much fun you have doing what you do?
Well, it's such a blessing. First of all, you're so thrilled. You keep thinking that they're going to get the wrong number, and oh no, we didn't mean you for the life achievement. We meant you. But I've been scared to death about this evening for a long, ever since I heard about it. But I didn't realize it would be quite like this tonight. This is unbelievable. Thank you.
Got this slit up the side of your dress. I don't know if anybody noticed that. Did you kind of plan that like that? Did you notice your dress?
What?
That little slit. Don't you have a little slit up the side? Yeah, that. When
you gotta use everything you possibly can.
If you look back over your very illustrious career, is there any moment or two that stands out other than tonight that you can just say, wow, I remember that moment?
Probably the first night I ever did the Mary Tyler Moore show. Mary and her then husband, Grant Tinker, and my Alan Ludden and I were close friends, and we had sweated out the show the whole time, went to all the shows and stuff. And when they asked me to do one of that night, Alan Burns and Jim Brooks, the creators, came to me and said, "We've got an idea for another script. I think you'll be back soon." That was exciting because that was such a breakthrough for me. Thank you.
White's success continued in 2012 with her first Grammy Award for Best Spoken Word Recording for her bestseller, If You Ask Me. On February 15, 2015, White made her final appearance on Saturday Night Live when she attended the 40th anniversary special. She participated in the Californians sketch alongside members of the current SNL cast members, as well as Bill Hader, Taylor Swift, and Kerry Washington. In the memorable sketch, White ends up kissing Bradley Cooper. In December 2021, before White's death, it was announced that a new documentary-style movie about her, Betty White, A Celebration, would be released in U.S. theaters on her 100th birthday, January 17, 2022. It featured a cast of friends, including Ryan Reynolds, Tina Fey, Robert Redford, Lin-Manuel Miranda, Clint Eastwood, Morgan Freeman, Jay Leno, Carol Burnett, Craig Ferguson, Jimmy Kimmel, Valerie Bertinelli, James Corden, Wendy Malick, and Jennifer Love Hewitt. In addition to the planned documentary, People magazine featured her as the cover story of its January 10, 2022 newsstand publication, and a separate commemorative edition to celebrate the anticipated milestone, which were released days before her death. On December 31st, 2021, White died at the age of 99, 17 days before her 100th birthday, at her home in the Brentwood neighborhood of Los Angeles, from a stroke she had on Christmas Day. White's remains were cremated and given to Glenn Kaplan, who was entrusted with carrying out her advanced healthcare directive. Her death was met with sympathy and statements from many people and organizations. President Joe Biden released a statement upon her death, describing her as a lovely lady and a cultural icon who will be sorely missed. Barack and Michelle Obama also expressed sympathy on social media. The United States Army released a statement, as White had volunteered with the American Women's Voluntary Services during World War II. Additionally, the Martin Luther King Jr. Center tweeted their condolences and praised White for her early support of racial equality. There were additional tributes from numerous media organizations, celebrities, political commentators, sports teams, musicians, and other public figures. White's star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame was flooded with flowers and tributes within hours of the announcement of her death. Her contribution to the entertainment industry cannot be overstated. Her genuine warmness and humor will be sorely missed. Betty White, thank you for being a friend to so many.
Thank you, darling. Thank you.